learned about Sovereign's program through an internet site that I found on an 800 number, and I was directed to Sovereign's call center. Through the P.R.I.M.E program, I actually found out through the gentleman that I was talking to, and then found a little bit more about it when I actually was going through intake. The events that actually happened with me was progressive over time. Being through the program myself a long time ago, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous was really part of my life, but relapsing was a big issue with me, and it became a very, very hard thing to deal with. Alcohol and opiates had become a big part of my life and made my life unmanageable. So at one point it got to an area of my life where drinking was just running my life, and the opiates got to a point where I was actually stealing medication from other people. So at that point, when it happened, I was stealing it from my wife and friends, and it really became, a very hard thing to deal with through my mind and through my family. So it was one of those things that just happened, and I made the call. Basically, with the attraction to the P.R.I.M.E program is being in sobriety before. I never approached it in the sense of being with my male counterparts, I guess, or my male colleagues. I believe the fellowship is a great thing, and Sovereign has developed a program I think that's going to help a lot of males over 40 years old to be able to deal with the problems that they may have and realize that it's not just them that are going through it. There's other men out there that have families that are going through the same stuff that I am, and that's what really attracted me to that particular part of the program. The difference between, I think, the P.R.I.M.E program is they're really steering towards, I hate to say the older male, but that's basically where we're at. And I think that is something that needs to be addressed, to be separated from the younger crowd, or our opposite sex, or our partners in life. It's just one of those things where we need to be together because it's a fight that we're going to have to fight together. I was scared to death. I was very frightened. I didn't know what to expect because I've been, fighting this disease for the past 15 years. But I was welcomed with open arms and care, which was more relieving than I thought it was going to be, but it's actually been a very, very good road. I tried not to have that high of expectations of the program that was being run here. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've been through a rehab, but I was expecting, the care that I was getting through therapy and through group studies, and I do believe a lot of it has been fulfilled. That particular part of the program has just been extremely incredible. I think it's totally necessary to have that type of fellowship and that type of meshing with my other peers in my age group, because it helps me understand that I'm not the only one out there. Oh, the residence that I stay in is absolutely wonderful. We have a group of guys that have just been so supportive. Our team managers, our lead managers that we have at our house is just absolutely incredible. They're very patient and understanding. If you can only imagine, 8, 10 recovering alcoholics that have been in their life, the leaders of the families, and just putting them all together. It's just been very, very interesting in all aspects of life, but as time goes by, each and every day it's gotten better and better, and I think we've really grown more than I thought that we could ever have. It's just great. As with any program or any place that you go, you're going to have some faults, and but that's part of life. You're going to have to learn how to deal with that. The therapists, the caseworkers, all the staff and drivers have really done and tried to do a very good job, and I think, for me, having a good outlook on life right now, looking at the past, week that, I'm getting ready to be released, it's been a 180 degrees turnaround just because of my perspective on how things are, and my recovery has gotten better. Being the first couple weeks, I was angry, miserable, so having a good perspective on how that is, it just wasn't the right thing to do. So the last few weeks have really been good, and I believe that the staff and therapy has worked a great deal for me. The group therapy is a necessity. We do a lot of different things and working on our feelings and our situations in life. And like I said, hearing from other people and hearing the same issues that are occurring in their life and relating it to mine is a complete necessity in order for me to go through my recovery process. The therapy is a must because that's really where you're going to let your feelings out. You know, my therapist, Debbie, who has just absolutely been wonderful, has really worked on some issues that I really didn't want to touch, but it's something that had to be done, and she's really worked on getting those out. My favorite group is basically at the end of the day, after groups and lunch and dinner, is sitting around with the guys at night talking about life and talking about our recovery. That has been my favorite aspect of this particular program, and that's something that I haven't had for a long, long time, of having real friends and people that care about me, and that has really, I think, boosted my recovery. My typical day is exhausting, but that's what I need. It's, you know, you wake up at, I myself don't sleep that much. I normally get 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30. I'm waiting for the sun to rise. A couple guys are with me. We have some coffee. We get ourselves showered, ready to go. We're normally picked up at about 8:30. Get to group about 9:15. Go through about 3-4 hours of group. Then we head back to the house and have a little bit of fellowship, go swimming, talk. Then we go to the gym, go to a meeting. We all make dinner at our house, so it really brings us together a little bit more. Then we'll either go to another meeting if we can, or we'll just sit down and just talk about life and what our goals are. The P.R.I.M.E group is really the best thing that I like. I think it's the smartest thing that they ever came up with. And my advice to them is to continue to do that and continue to hear the guys that need the help. And also I think they need to get a P.R.I.M.E women's group because they need it just as well. I think the kids, because I have young kids, so when I see them, it's like I've destroyed their lives. And I'm not at that point ready to fix everybody yet because I'm here for myself to fix my kids' lives. So it was being with your age group has been the best for me, and that's where I think just the P.R.I.M.E groups and the P.R.I.M.E fellowship is exactly what has to be done. A lot of hope, a lot of sincerity. There is a lot of good people here that are willing to reach their hand out. It's not going to be perfect, but the best thing I could say is for somebody that wants to come here is try to keep an open mind. There are good people here, and they are willing to help. That's just a hard one. Everybody's got their own bottom that they have to hit, and that's one of the most difficult things about addiction. We all know that we have an issue out there, and we all know we're having problems. If you're strong enough to pick that phone up and make that call, you really have to try it. You really have to make that effort to get your life in order. Being out there for the last 15 years struggling to pick that phone up, it was very, very hard. But once you do and you're able to let that go and surrender to that disease, I'm telling you, it will work, and you will get a life back that you really want.